Well, here we are, Friday morning live on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I just didn't get to it yesterday. So anyway, nobody's in here yet. So I'm going to go continue to paint back over here. And I'll check in with you. Had to turn the TV down back there. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to press on. And if anybody shows up, why, that'll be just fine. Got to stay hydrated. Yep. Okay. Paint. Paint. Well, hopefully somebody will show up in there. Be nice to chit chat a little bit. This is going to be the last live of the year. So, yeah, YouTube just notified me that I'm live. Well, I kind of figured that out. But nobody else has yet. Hey, we got some people in there now. Welcome aboard. Yeah, this is probably the last live for the year. So, oh, now they're gone. Sorry, I was busy over there painting. I missed you. Sure, make a comment and we'll get a conversation going. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna press on over here. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hydrate a little bit first. Yep, I'm right over here. Yeah, there's two of you in there now yet. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been quite a day. I Yesterday I went to move my Dodge pickup around. I've been driving it actually. It's still for sale, but I've been driving it because it's not good for them to sit around, right? So I'm driving it around, and I've used it all over town and hauled some junk with it. And I Eric came over and was gonna take his truck to the dump, and that which we did, but we wound up not doing it till today. But anyway, so I went to back up my Dodge to his, and I got it up there, backed up, and hit the emergency brake, and boom, the cable on the right side broke. So that would be this little duker here. She kind of frayed out a little bit there. So interesting thing to note. Yeah, see, that kind of ties in there, and this is on the buckle. So, but anyway, so interesting thing to note is I've got the left-hand cable coming. I ordered it down here to the O'Reillys. They got that on stock. It'll be here tomorrow. The right one, well, the right one is not available. So I started researching it, and all of the car websites, they all show it, but when you click on it, not available. So I guess and it is a little longer. The right side is a little longer, and this is the one that broke, is the right. So I'm guessing that I don't know. I may have to try to, weld this back together or something. I don't know. We're gonna have to get creative. So anyway, today is the last day that it's decently warm, and I needed to get this shelf painted so I can get all this junk put back up and get my garage back to me. So I decided to do that, and I guess tomorrow I'll waller around out in the ice because it's supposed to start icing, for like the next 3 days and be 29 degrees. So I guess I'll go waller around out there in the ice and take the cable off. I'm going to try to take the cable off and get it in here and see if there's anything I can do with it. I mean, it's just braided steel, right? And this is right where it goes through that eyelet on the frame. That's what's wore that. So I'm sure we can figure something out. If anybody's got a part out there, why, let me know. I did put a thing out on my YouTube channel this morning on postings, and let's see if anybody's answered that. Because it's be nice to have, be nice to have a correct cable instead of trying to, make something like brand used, which is, I guess in a way that's what we do here. So let's see. Yeah, 31 people have looked at it, but nobody has commented. So apparently nobody else has a right-hand emergency brake cable for a D100 either. So yeah, well, that's what I don't like about these old Mopars. You just can't get parts. And at least in my neck of the woods, there's no junkyards anymore. Everybody, bailed everything up. And I mean, there's some junkyards. I shouldn't say that. There is junkyards, but not that's got old stuff in it. So anyway, yeah, you got to go out, to Wyoming or someplace like that to find parts. But anyway, we're going to see if we can make something work here. Let's see. 55 outside. It's 62 in the garage. That's pretty warm for this time of the year in the garage. So, yeah, that's why, it's pretty comfortable out here, actually. Well, you all talk amongst yourselves, and I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to go over here and paint some more. Well, somebody's still in there. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. It's probably my mom and dad. Hi, if it's you. Just working in the garage. Trying to get this done so I can start on the back part back here. I got to get back here in the back and clean that up too. We hauled a whole big load of junk off today. Eric came over with his 72 Dodge, and yeah, we hauled a bunch of junk off. So yeah, and it was quite heavy actually, because there was $30 worth of trash. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Usually it runs about 15, but we had a mattress out there that had been sitting out in the rain, so I think it filled up full of water. So that probably, that added a little bit of stuff to it. So, yep. Anyway, so did everybody have a good Christmas? Comment down below. Yep, it's still me. We're still painting. We're about halfway done. Yeah, from there to there, and we'll be done. Yeah, then we can start picking up some of this junk and putting up on the shelves, and all this stuff here gets put away. And yeah, it's one step closer to having the shop done. I've been wanting to do this for several years, but there just never was any time when you work all the time. So anyway. Well, I don't see any more people in there than just two of you. So anyway, yeah. Hope everybody's having a great day. Just stopped in here to say hi. I thought maybe there might be a few of you out there. It's all right. Yeah, well, somebody asking the question about joining the channel there. So yeah, you can certainly join the channel if you want. We do stuff like this every once in a while where I just come on randomly. I will admit though, this is probably the first time I've ever done that where there hasn't been anybody making any comments, but that's okay. That's okay. Appreciate all the views you can get. Well, you can see I'm about done. Well, I don't know if you can really tell the difference, but that's where I stopped, and I got to go that way yet. It's just wood. I'm just putting some white paint on it. That's what I did over here. You can see I did the same thing there, and where you guys are sitting, it's the same way. It's built just like that with 2x4s, and it's just cheaper than buying shelving, and I don't. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Well, hey, there's 4 of you in there now. Welcome aboard. So just a little impromptu live today here in the shop. It's 62 degrees in here and it's 50 outside. I need to be out there working on the Dodge. But, I got to get this painted while it's warm. So I guess I can crawl around out there in the snow and the ice and work on the Dodge this week. So, because Sunday afternoon, it's supposed to start raining and the temperature is going to drop down to like 29. So that ought to freeze and bust all the tree limbs and the power lines out. Yeah. So, exciting stuff. So, all right. I'm going to press on. Got any comments? Make a comment. Junkyard D. Hey, Rick. Yep, just stopped in. Well, I appreciate that, sir. I'm not doing much. Just stopped in to say hi. Well, hello. Yeah, this is just kind of one of them things. I was out here working in the garage and I just decided, hey, why not turn it on? So he's each word is it. So he is, and load up your comments. Okay, I get you. Well, that helps. Yeah, I appreciate that. Load them up. Yeah, well, not a whole lot going on. Junkyard D. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I talked about this a minute ago. I was driving the Dodge yesterday. Yesterday, because I've been driving it all week because I don't like them to sit around, and so I let the Chevy sit this week. And I was driving the Dodge, and so yesterday I pulled up in the driveway after hauling some junk and stepped down the emergency brake like I always do, and boom, the cable broke on the right side. So upon further investigation, I found out the left side is real worn too. That's right where it goes through that clevis in the cross member on the frame. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I ordered the left side because it's available. The right side is not available. So I'm going to have to either try to weld this back together somehow and make it like brand used, or I'm going to have to find somebody that has a used one because apparently it's not available anymore. So anyway, so if anybody out there knows where I can get one of those, let me know, because that definitely would help when I start tearing that apart tomorrow. Well, I don't know if I'll get to it tomorrow, but tomorrow's Sunday, it's church, and maybe Monday. It's supposed to be like 29 Monday. So yeah, let's wait and do it then so that I'm laying out there on the concrete, 29 degrees. Yeah, that's what I should do. I mean, that only makes sense, right? So thanks for all the comments, by the way. Could you make one from like a garage door cable? That's exactly what I was thinking about, because I have a piece of old cable, and I'm gonna, it's gotta go through that housing, and then it has to weld to that other end that's got that spring thing on it. But I have welded cable like this before, but I don't know. This one's pretty rusty, and I haven't pulled the other end out to see. But I think I think you could do listen, you can fix anything if you want. And I've got a welder and I've got a torch. So surely, I can fix something. Luckily, it broke in the driveway so I could find the pieces, because this piece here is kind of important. This is the one that goes over the adjustment rod for both sides. So, yeah. So I think that's a great idea. I was actually thinking about something like that. And I know I can source brand new cable in different sizes down here at our hardware store. They got a bunch of that stuff down there, and also Rule King sells stuff like that. So surely I can find something. If it was an automatic, I wouldn't worry so much about it. But that manual transmission and that old tired 225, if you park it on a hill and put it in low gear or reverse, it just starts going because it's, the engine tries to turn over. So anyway, I guess I could put a barring tool in there and let it lock against the frame or something. I don't know, but I think I could probably fix that. So that's a good idea. I'll give you $5 if you'll go stick your head through that window glass and say, welcome to RCindustry. Well, that is actually a carryover from DuBois County Flips, which is one of my other channels. And because back then I called everything I did, even though I had separate channels, was RCindustry, because that was my company name. So, yeah, I actually, yeah, I had that camera set up down in the basement, and I thought, this is a one-time shot, man. It's got to work. And it did. It turned out pretty funny, I thought. But yeah, I haven't really come across too many more funny things when I've been filming through the years. I mean, there's that lightning strike that happened this summer out here when I'm standing in front of the garage, and that thing was close. It was just right across the street. It blew the top out of one of them pine trees over there. So I've got that on video, and I got the LTD, that 351 modified, when the power valve was bad on it, and it was pumping all that fuel through there, and it had that clear air cleaner on it, and it poofed, big flames come out of that. So I've got a couple of bloopers like that, but yeah, it's the lightning strike, man. That was close. I mean, I heard it click really loud before it actually did that. And if you watch the video, if you slow it down, you'll see when I hear the click, and then I start talking, and then it boom. Yeah. I tell you what, that was close. So I got a friend that lives over in Huntingburg, over there where Eric lives, and he's actually been struck by lightning like 3 times in his life. And they say that, lightning seeks out certain people. I don't know. He's been struck 3 times, and he's still alive. But I haven't talked to him for a while. He's old like me now, but, anyway, I don't think I want to get struck by lightning. That's for sure. Now I'm going to get back over here and just about got it done. Just about, not quite. That would probably hurt pretty good. Feller tried to knock his head through them glass blocks. Them's pretty thick and hard. So one guy struck 3 times. He probably still has better luck than me. Well, yeah. I don't know how much luck he's had, but he didn't die. I'll tell you that. But yeah, he's had kind of a rough way of go most of his life. But I think, yeah. So what have you been up to? I think I saw, I might be wrong, but I think I saw some kind of post you had on face pages or something. I'm not sure. What's under the car cover? Well, nothing special. But it is a fairly low mileage convertible. It's an old Chrysler. It's a piece of junk, really. But it's a, what do you call them things? It's a Chrysler. And it's not a 300. It's a, you know, it's my car and I can't even tell you what it is. Ain't that awful? I suppose it says on here somewhere. No. Anyway, they made a bunch of them cars like that. Yep, Sebring, you got it. you win the prize. I don't know what the prize is, but yeah, it's a Sebring. It's got the engine, the V6 in it that nobody likes because they, you know, the water pumps wear through and cause the engine oil to mix with the. But this one's still got pretty low miles, and I try to keep the oil changed. And I have changed the antifreeze in it once already in its life because, you know, I think the electrolysis starts taking place in that antifreeze when it gets kind of like acid. So, I mean, you can actually take your voltmeter when it gets bad enough and, you know, you can see it with a voltmeter. But anyway, I have changed that. I'm trying to keep it so it doesn't do that. But yeah, I'm still driving it. I don't drive it in the winter. It's garage kept all the time, so that's why the cover's on it. I'm out here sawing and painting, and I didn't want to get stuff all over it. The top has been replaced about 4 years ago. I had to replace the one of the lift cylinders. The seals went bad in it. I had to take it apart and replace that. The dipstick broke off on it. If you watch one of my videos, let's see, we did a road trip about 3 years ago in this thing. Eric and I did. And the first stop, we pulled into the gas station. I thought, well, I'll check the oil, you know, make it short. And it broke the oil dipstick broke right off. It's made out of plastic. So we had to drive the rest of that trip with not knowing if we had oil in it or not. So, but yeah, it's a nice little car. It gets pretty good gas mileage, really. About 25. And it is kind of fun to tootle around with the top down. And so anyway, yeah, that's what it is. Nothing special. But I try to keep it in here because of the rain. So I went out and stood on 15 inches of ice for 15 hours to try and catch some supper. Nothing, not a bite. Well, golly, man. Yeah. Not a bite. Well, them things are cold, man. I wouldn't think they'd be hungry. I don't know. That's pretty funny. So what is the temperature up there where you're at? It's today, it's actually like 52 degrees, or was a little bit ago, 52 degrees outside. And it's 62 in here. Well, actually, it's almost 64 in here now. I've got the little electric heater running over there. You can probably see it right there. Yeah. But tomorrow evening, yeah, Sunday, it's that front that's coming across the United States there. I think it's in Missouri right now. That's going to be here tomorrow evening. And it's supposed to drop down to 29, and then we're supposed to have rain. I guess all that rain from California is moving this way. It seems odd that it would rain, but I suppose, it's warmer up in the clouds, I guess. I don't know. But there's like running water down the street, so it's above 32. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know what the temperature is going to be really like, but they're estimating 29 degrees and rain. Well, that can't be good, so. Do you have a new build in mind for the No Name Nationals if you sell the truck? Well, yes. I'm actually going. I am planning on taking a trip in January. I'm going to leave here the 16th. I'm going by the almanac. The almanac showing I'm going to have about a 4 or 5 day window in there of decent weather. So I'm going down and renting a trailer, and I'm going to be bringing back a project that I'm going to use at the No Name Nationals this year. As far as selling the truck, I still haven't sold the truck, obviously. When that sells, I've got another project here locally that I'm going to buy with that money. So out of those two, one of them is going to go to the No Name Nationals this year, but it's going to depend, on which one I get roadworthy in the meantime. So, yeah, I'm really excited about the one. Well, I'm excited about both, actually. The one is a Chrysler product, so, parts will be impossible to find for that. The other is a Chevy pickup, so parts should be more available, at least in my area. It's hard to get Dodge parts around here, or Chrysler parts, Mopar parts, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, yeah. So I do. What are you taking? What is your plans? I was watching John's live a little bit ago on the TV from last night because I didn't get to it. And, there was a lot of people on there talking about what they were going to bring, and my OCD kicked in. I seen a place here I need to touch the paint up on. There we go. That's better. But yeah, planning on going, already registered to go. So, number 43 will be back this year. I don't know if it's going to be a Chrysler product. I don't know what it's going to be for sure, but I suspect at this point it's going to be a Chevrolet. And instead of piddling around with one of those small blocks like I got in the old Blue Brown out there, which is a great truck, this one's a big block. So anyway, Junkyard D says he doesn't know quite yet. Apparently my Valiant does meet class rules for Triple Crown. Well, that's cool. So might have to do a change up. Oh, yeah. Well, I probably will just do call outs, and I don't know. I might do. Last year I was in that. They had the one for beginners, so I did that. Got out of that one right away. Then I was in the 6-cylinder class, and I made 2 runs. The first run, I actually won that one. And the second run, I red lighted. So I got out of that one. So your Valiant doesn't meet the class rule or the rules. Okay. Right. For Triple Crown anyway. Yeah. Well, I enjoy going down there and just being around everybody that I've met through YouTube. So, I'm not very competitive. You probably have realized that by now. So. But I just like to take something. I like to put something together that looks like it ought to be in the junkyard and go down there and, but I noticed there's a lot of people put, like Big Mike puts together all them kind of crazy vehicles, and there's that one guy that's got the Cushmans, and I mean there's just all kinds of cool stuff that comes down there. So I have a B250 van that I really want to get on to build for a tow vehicle. Yeah. Well, my old Chevy pickup did all right as a tow vehicle, but it really doesn't have. I mean, it needs, it ought to be a big block to really, if he's going to do that a lot. I mean, I made the trip 400 miles down there and 4 back, or well, it's 380 something, I think, but 400. And it made the trip. But it was hard on the old truck. You could tell it. I mean, it wasn't. It just ain't built to do that. And that Dodge was heavy, so pulling it. Now I'm going to rent a trailer down when I go pick up that vehicle next month. I'm going to rent a 16-foot trailer and tandem axle, and that'll be more balanced, and I think it'll pull a lot better than that car dolly. I hope so, anyway. Because I got about the same amount of distance. I think it's about it's probably 460 miles I got to drive. So, yeah, driving down there won't be bad. I'm renting it down there, and then I drop it off here when I get back. So, Junkyard D says, I want to build out the interior and am more excited to do that than anything. Yeah. Who is it? Leslie from Frankenstein. Yeah. He's got a van that he did a custom van on the inside that he did I think it is probably the one he drove to the No Name Nationals this past year, but I know he did a video where he did some woodwork on the inside of it. So back in the day when I was like in high school and stuff, man, tricked out vans in the 70s, that was a big deal. Yeah, boogie vans. They are becoming popular again. I went to a couple of car shows this summer locally, and there's a guy from the Petersburg area. He was at a couple of the car shows, and he's in both of my videos, I think. But he's got a really cool Chevy, boogie van kind of thing. He's got great big wide Kragers on the back or big tires and wide Kragers on the back, and it's a cool looking. It definitely looks like something from my high school era, that's for sure. I remember one of the Hayes boys had a van, and it said I think it said Good Times Machine on the side of it, hand painted fancy or something like that. So but yeah, also Scott's friend up there. Well, Scott painted it for him, but I don't know if you watch. They're up in Alberta area, I think. Cold War Motors. They did a boogie van a couple years ago on the channel, and it's on the calendar this year that they sent out, I think. So anyway, yeah, that's a really cool build. I think those things are cool. Okay. Okay, so Junkyard D says, since they're glass blocks, I'll up the bet to $10. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I actually bought a house that, well, obviously this house has them. I've got them in this back room too. But we had another house that we had those in, and we also had we had bought a commercial building here in town several years ago, and it had a bar in it. In the basement or the bottom, the main level was a bar and a restaurant, and so when we changed the way the front of the building looked, it had them glass blocks in there, and I figured you could just break them right out. Man, it took sledgehammers to break through that glass. That stuff is really hard. It's not solid. I mean, it's void on the inside, but man, that's thick glass and it's hard. So, yeah, they don't break too easy. They don't break too easy. I'll turn you a little bit. I'm going to be painting right here now. Things in the way, ain't it? Oh, we'll just take that down. Okay, 20, final offer. Nap. I'd have to have a little more to drink, probably. Just gonna put another coat on this. Try to make it look a little better. It's gonna get dirty out here and have sanding dust on, everything all over everything anyway. But it could look a little better. Not gonna hurt anything. About how many houses have you flipped? Well, there's 10 of them on the channel, and I didn't start doing that till about a year before COVID. So probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 17. And then we had rental properties. Some of those houses that we bought, we turned into rentals. So we had at one time we had 7 doors for rental properties. That was a horrible experience, but it was also a blessing from God, because when we went to sell all that stuff, well, first of all, we never spent any of the money that came in from that stuff. So my wife we're both kind of very conservative. So she was taking all that money and putting on the cheapest one we had payments on. And she wound up paying off 2 or 3 of those pretty quickly, or, over the time we had the rentals. So all of the money coming in from the rent each month on those was, because nothing had to go back in for a payment. So all of that, anyway, it just kind of snowballed, and that's how I was able to retire. Actually, I signed my last paycheck 3 weeks ago on a Wednesday. So, oh, you manage rental, so you know the pain. Yeah, and we didn't have a property manager or nothing like that. Of course, that was me, and my wife did the books, and she worked full time. And for a while, I was working full time, plus flipping houses, plus the rentals. But then it kind of worked into where I was just doing flipping the rentals and well, I don't know. I say working full time. I was probably working part time, and I was still doing that part time stuff, which was basically my home inspections. And I didn't really the last couple of years. I didn't do many actual private home inspections. I mainly did government contracts. So I was working for state agencies, and that is what my last contract ran out about a month ago, and so I know it was like 3 Wednesdays ago I got my last paycheck on one of those. So I laughingly said that, well, that paycheck's got to last us another 30 years, or well, hopefully I can live to be that old. Who knows? But big thing that helped us with having rentals, and we also had, when we were flipping houses during the market or the housing crash of 2006 or 8 or whenever that was. We bought a bunch of repo houses, and because you could get a repo house for like $10,000 or in that ballpark. I mean, some of them I don't even think we paid that much for, but and then we just held on to them. We just let them sit there, and until I could get to them. And some of them we turned into rentals, some of them we flipped. And did you sell all your rentals or return them for income source? No, yes, exactly. Yes, we did. We sold all of them, and we actually got out of the rental business 2 years ago when the market was high. It had just started getting high again. And I was like, because if you follow the marketing, I've been following the housing market, for 40 years or 35 anyway. And it goes in cycles, in 7-year, 8-year cycles usually. And we were at what I thought was like, this is going to be, we're coming up on the end of a 7-year cycle. And I was afraid it was going to crash. So we sold high, a lot higher than we bought. So that was good. And then it kept going for another year. So if we'd have held out, we could have got more money. But hey, it wasn't worth it. I was wanting to get out of it. It's a lot of stress. If you manage rental properties, it's a lot of stress. And the older you get, the less I want to deal with stress. So it's kind of why I piddle around with my YouTube channel. And YouTube is constantly telling me, oh, well, you should do this and you should do that and use this AI generated thing to help you with your videos. And yeah, it probably would. But I think I'm not, I'm not big on AI. So probably has its purposes. And I can think of a few good ones, but I can think of a lot of negative ones too. So it's just not something I want to do. I don't want my videos being, some computer somewhere thinking they know what's inside my head. I think that's the whole point of YouTube. That's why I got on YouTube 17 years ago, because I could make videos and do what I wanted to do, and I had a platform to do that on. I know that the platform has changed a lot, obviously, in the last few years. Probably about the last 5 or 6 is when I've really noticed the difference. And so you got to watch what you say and how you say it. And I've had one of my channels got taken completely down. Not this channel, but another one that I used to have. I used to have 5, so I got 4 total now. So, yeah. Anyway, the car stuff seemed to be pretty hot for a while. I was doing pretty good for a while, but not so much now. I don't get too many views, and I don't get too many subscribers anymore, on not like I used to. But I also kind of do my own thing, and so I've got a few people that watch, and like you're in here watching me paint shelves in the garage and talk, so I got a few people that watch me, and I got some members of the channel that support me and so I try to cater to private videos for them, and stuff like that. The members, of course, know a lot more stuff going on than everybody else, because I clue them in on, they know about what I'm going to get in January already, and everybody will know as of tomorrow when Sunday's morning's video comes out. And so if you watch it to the very end, you'll know what I'm headed to pick up on the 16th. So anyway, it should be fun. I can't wait to get it. There's some stuff I want to do to it. Obviously, there's some work that needs to be done to it, because I want to make it a street legal driver, and so that's going to take a little bit, not much. I mean, it's just an old truck. Oh, well, I just said what it is. It's a truck, but I haven't told you what truck it is. So, but you'll recognize it when I get it. So, or I would say you would anyway. I want to say hi to Zach if he's out there. He is probably in Hawaii right now by now. So he may watch this later. I don't see him in there, but hope you had a safe trip, and Mala Kaliki Maka. I was actually born in Hawaii, so not that I'm Samoan, or however you say that. That's not what they're, whatever the nationality was over there. But I was born over there. My dad was in the military. So, yeah, it's been a good many years since I've been there. That's for sure. Well, I have probably been on here long enough. I appreciate all of you sticking with me. We've been on here over an hour, so got the shelves painted. So maybe next Friday when we do our Friday morning live, maybe it'll actually be on Friday morning, and maybe we'll have the garage put back together. I don't know. You just have to tune in and find out. Well, we do have a lot of project stuff coming up in the future. I've got to build a set of handles on my cart for my welder. Well, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it'll be a little bit. And we've got this brake cable, emergency cable to sort out on the Dodge. We've got to change the oil on the Chevy for the trip, because we got, it'll be about an 800-mile trip around, or well, probably close to 900 by the time we can make the rounds. So yeah, so we got stuff coming up on the channel. So I appreciate everybody watching. Be sure and jump over to Shop RCindustry to get your merch, get your truckers hats and t-shirts, and we don't have any coveralls over there, but I got a pair of them. But anyway, yeah. So and you can always join. Go down below and you can click on join the member, join the channel. That'd be great. Money all goes to working on these junk cars. Well, not these junk cars, but the ones that I've had in the past. So yeah, Junkyard D, you have a great day too, sir. All right. As always, we're making it just like brand used here, baby.